88 points in Game Week 9 sees a rise up to 856,000. There was lots of disappointment in defence, where Matt Turner gave up a 2-goal lead in the final 10 minutes against Luton, while Destiny Udogie was subbed off just 5 minutes shy of the 60-minute mark, presumably due to fatigue after featuring for Italy over the international break and with a Friday night game to come. Returns all across the midfield, with Mohamed Salah once again proving the better captaincy option. The Egyptian was handed a 4th penalty of the season, which is as many as Liverpool were awarded throughout the entirety of last season. Just the 1 goal from captain Erling Haaland wasn't really enough, considering the returns from Salah and Alvarez. The Norwegian has failed to register a big chance in the last 3 game weeks, taking just 3 shots. So let's move on to the transfer plans for Game Week 10. Bukayo Saka remains firmly in my plans after he set up the equaliser against Chelsea on his return from injury. He's averaging 0.64 non-penalty XGI per 90 this season, compared to 0.25 for both Ødegaard and Martinelli. The Gunners host Sheffield United and Burnley in the next 3 game weeks. I could fund the Arsenal talisman in a number of ways, with 2 free transfers available. Still, my preferred route is to lose a Spurs midfielder, somewhat begrudgingly after impressive displays from both Son Heung-min and James Maddison against Fulham. But the fixtures toughen up now, with Chelsea, Aston Villa and Man City in the next 5. I see Son as the more explosive from the pair, the one more likely to get big chances and shots inside the box. He's scored 7 goals in the last 6 game weeks compared to Maddison's 2. But Maddison has more variety to his game. He can drop deep and create, but also finds himself popping up in the box like he did for his goal last night. And he came close to grabbing a second when Son got in his way as he lined up to shoot. For me, it comes down to what I can do with the 1.4 million saving if I keep Maddison instead. The extra funds would be the difference between a 5 million midfielder for my second transfer, such as Simon Adingra or Cole Palmer, or a 6.5 million option like Kaoru Mitoma. The Japanese winger is Brighton's top scoring asset with 6 goal involvements this season, ahead of favourable ties with Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest in the next 4 game weeks. Pedro Neto is unfortunate to find himself on the chopping block after back-to-back assists, but Wolves take on Newcastle, Spurs and Arsenal in the next 5 game weeks. No side has conceded fewer big chances than the Magpies this season, with 7. So I won't be moving until later in the week, but I'm leaning towards selling Son and Neto to Saka and Mitoma with 2 free transfers. And here's how the team is set to line up. Alphonse Areola returns between the sticks ahead of a home meeting with Everton, who have failed to score in 2 of their 4 away matches this season. Just 5 teams have fashioned fewer big chances on the road. It's set to be an unchanged back 3, providing Destiny Udogie is fit and available. Crystal Palace have produced league low tallies of 1 goal and 2 big chances in the last 4 game weeks. 3 shots on target by Matty Cash in the last 4 game weeks is a leading total among defenders. Luton have attempted 10 shots on target in their last 4 outings, ranking joint bottom with Crystal Palace and Burnley. Aston Villa have shipped just 3 goals in that time, with only Newcastle conceding fewer. Dan Burn remains top among defenders for shots in the box over the last 4 game weeks. Wolves have attempted the fewest number of shots in that time, while Newcastle have allowed league low totals of just 2 goals and 2 big chances. Joining the new recruits in midfield is Jared Bowen, whose tally of 6 goals this season can only be beaten by Son and Salah among midfielders. His total of 11 shots in the box over the last 4 game weeks only trails the Egyptian king with 13. Across each team's respective last 4 away matches, only West Ham, Bournemouth and Luton have conceded more big chances than Everton with 14. As mentioned, the plan is for one of the Spurs midfielders to make way, with James Maddison the likelier to keep his place due to the extra funds he affords elsewhere. He's carved out 15 attempted assists in the last 4 game weeks, a leading total among midfielders. Crystal Palace were comprehensively beaten by Newcastle last weekend, but kept clean sheets in each of their 3 matches prior. They've shipped just 3 goals across their 4 home matches this season. Kaoru Mitoma has been afforded 5 big chances in the last 4 game weeks, which ranks joint top with Salah among midfielders. He's produced team leading totals of 8 shots and 19 touches in the opposition box in that time. Fulham have given up 14 big chances in away matches this season, with only West Ham, Bournemouth, Aston Villa and Luton faring worse. Ollie Watkins has amassed 5 goals and 4 assists in the last 4 game weeks to earn a league best 48 points. No player can improve on tallies of 15 shots in the box and 8 shots on target during that period. Luton have allowed opponents a league high 23 big chances in away matches this season, and only Bournemouth have conceded as many as their 11 goals on the road. Erling Haaland has suffered a dip in form, with just 5 shots and 2 big chances in the last 4 game weeks. By contrast, the Norwegian recorded 29 shots and 12 big chances in the opening 5 rounds. I can understand the appeal of selling for those on a wildcard, but I made the decision to stick with him on mine 2 weeks ago, and I'm hesitant to let him go now as it would be difficult to spread the funds around. Man City have won 3 of the last 4 Manchester derbies in the Premier League, scoring an average of 3.3 goals per game. Bukayo Saka and Ollie Watkins are in the conversation for captaincy in Gameweek 10, while Mohamed Salah has to be considered the favourite on the back of 4 goals in the last 2 game weeks. The Egyptian king has produced double figures in 4 of the last 5 game weeks, where no player can rival his 7.2 expected goal involvements. Liverpool have averaged 2.8 goals per game at home this season, with only Aston Villa faring better. Nottingham Forest have conceded 7 goals in their 4 meetings with Big Six sides so far, an average of 1.8 per game.